Hey, what's going on everyone? Paul here with Profitable Freelancer, and I saw this video. I was on YouTube, I was scrolling, looking for something to watch last night, and I saved this because I really wanted to watch it, but instead I want to react to this. So this is my first time watching this video. I found it, and it's called Making $378K a Year as a Fiverr Freelancer. So if you know me, if you follow the channel before, you know I talk about all things freelancing, entrepreneurship, and lifestyle freedom. And in this video, we're going to react to this series that CNBC has called Make It. And let's get right into it.
I doubled my income overnight, and that was crazy to me. At 24, 25, making 14 or 15K per month is insane. You're not even emotionally prepared for it yet.
So right off the bat, $378,000 a year on Fiverr is super impressive. I mean, that's why I clicked the video. That's why it really caught my eye. And I'm really interested to see what services she provides on Fiverr, because if you know anything about Fiverr or anything about Upwork, you know that Fiverr is really good for kind of cranking out a lot of work and not necessarily working with long-term clients as much, whereas Upwork is more for long-term clients. So I'm interested to see what she's doing and how she's able to really produce that much on Fiverr.
My name is Alex Fasulo. I'm 28 years old, and I make $378,000 per year as a freelance writer on Fiverr.com. I lived in New York City for the past 6 years, and I now live in Florida.
There it is. Okay, so it says freelance writer, full-time freelance writer on Fiverr. So I'm guessing she's doing some sort of copywriting. She's working full-time, so it looks like she's working remotely, and she's just putting all her energy into this because it's obviously paying off. So this is awesome so far. There it is. Ghost writes ebooks and blog posts. Okay. $1,000 for an ebook. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, right? On Fiverr, you really need to have a package deal that is ready to go, that you can crank out. So she's probably built her profile, her credibility up, I'm guessing, to a point where she literally can charge $1,000 for an ebook that she probably knows how to do in a pretty good amount of time where it makes sense for her.
My clients
in
vary
2 days,
beyond what
wow,
you can imagine, from large corporations that you've heard of down to entrepreneurs or influencers or people who manage their influencing dog on Instagram. I've written ebooks for quite a few dogs. I've been able to take 60 hours worth of work and kind of squish it down to 40 hours because I kind of have my system down.
Yep, so this is exactly what I was talking about in the last video as well, where she's able to condense time and just provide more value and not get paid just for her time. So she just said she's able to condense down a 60-hour work week into 40 hours, and she's just cranking out ebooks. This is amazing. I can't wait to really see more about how she built her profile up to that point.
So, well.
Wow, 200.
I accepted this PR job that paid $36,000 per year. I felt so out of place. I was so unhappy, and I was crying on my keyboard that I quit. And I don't normally quit things. And that Monday when I was supposed to go into work, I just couldn't.
So it said that she quit her job after 4 weeks. So I'm already finding a lot of similarities in myself in this video because, you know, she found out that the corporate world just wasn't for her. She didn't really like to quit things. She wasn't a quitter, but she knew there was another way that fit her personality better and her potential better. Because as you can see, she said from making, I think, 30K or something a year to now making 378K. So that's a 10X right there.
I could not go back into that place. It was the darkest I had ever felt. I only had enough money in my bank account to cover my bills for 3 months. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, if I have to go through this same process again, only to get a job that I again hate, I can't keep going through this cycle. Something needs to change. After a few days, I had interest on my press release gig, and I was charging $15 for that. And just that interest alone was enough to almost kind of light a fire in me and see, okay, I am capable of earning $15, $20 a day. Well, what if I could earn $50 a day? What if I could earn $100 a day? Now I'm making $3,000 per month and I can cover all of my bills. That first week on Fiverr, I started to discover that I was capable of earning money on my own without anyone telling me what to do, which means each passing day, the idea of applying to another job just vanished.
That's so spot on. I remember when I had that realization, it's like, wait a second. When you're freelancing, you're literally in control of yourself. There's no one telling you what to do. It's on you, right? So it goes both ways, because if you're not disciplined, right, this is not going to work for you because you need someone telling you what to do. You don't have control. But if you do have discipline, you know that you're not a quitter, but you just want to find a better path in your life, in your career. I mean, try it out. This is exactly what I preach. This is awesome to see CNBC Make It. I know we're not even halfway through right now, but it's just great to see that they're now focusing on a freelancer. They really haven't focused anyone on really remote working or anything like that. It's really just been other people who have normal 9-to-5s, they're teachers, things like that. So this is great.
It just disappeared into thin air. I think I cried. I realized I can cover my bills with this. Like, I don't have to go back to a corporate job. After about a year of hitting it really hard on Fiverr, I opened way more services. I think I had like 12 or 13 gigs at the time. I was ranked level 2 on the site, and the site has these levels that allow you to charge more as you advance through them. Fiverr, the company, actually reached out to me and asked me to come meet them to film a commercial in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Up until January 2018, I was making around 6 to 8K per month, which is incredible, of course. But it was January into February 2018 when I was launched into the double-digit realm, meaning I was making 13K, 14K, 15K. Which was essentially I doubled my income overnight, and that was crazy to me. In 2017, I made $63,000 that year, and in 2018, I jumped to making $273,000.
Wow. Did you guys just see that graphic right there? That was awesome. They pogo sticked.
Which was the craziest jump you could ever imagine. It took me a couple years to accept that I was making that money. The only thing that I would say I started to spend more on to treat myself was travel experiences and music festivals. I'm pretty sure if a financial planner sat down with me, they would be disgusted by me and my management of my money. But my strategy is just basically, if I know I'm making like 15 to 20K, I kind of just in my head try and make sure I'm saving at least 50% of it.
Okay, so she might be being harder on herself than she really should be, because it says she has $100,000 already just saved up for retirement. She's saving 50% of her income, so even though she's probably spending a lot and traveling and enjoying life, I mean, still putting away half of what she's earning, I think that is more than responsible, especially, at her age. So she might be being a little hard on herself there. This
year, I'm definitely going to contribute less to my retirement, but I already know my accountant is going to tell me that I should still contribute something because it helps with my taxable income. I can hear them now. So I think, like most entrepreneurs, I have a problem with having my money like locked up in accounts. It's just not how my brain works. I kind of like to have it at my disposal. So if I come up with some like project or real estate investment I want to do, I can just grab it. I use a CPA, like an accountant, hands down. Costs like $1,200. It's worth it to me.
Yeah. Okay, so two things. Number one, having an accountant, you need to have a certified public accountant. If you want to be serious with freelancing, they're going to help you really maximize all of your deductions as a freelancer, how all of that works. I mean, it's really stuff that you need professional help with. So that's awesome she's doing that. And then now she's getting into how Florida doesn't have the state income tax, which is a huge benefit for starting a business there, and the other states that don't have an income tax.
When you're in a city like New York, it's very easy to go somewhere. You can drop $200 on dinner. And I think it kind of contributed to my desire to move out of New York City, which I am now in Florida. And my food and drinks is probably down to $500. It's not even close to what it was in New York City. I wanted to still be mobile and not reliant on flights to go travel and see our country. The craziest thing happened because while so many people were losing their jobs and so many businesses were going out of business, so many people were coming online to start selling products and services because that was the only way they were going to make contact with other human beings. So they needed someone like a copywriter to help them fill their website, their blog, their social media posts, which led me to having my biggest month that I have ever had on Fiverr in May 2020. I made over $36,000 that month, which was insane. And it was so weird to have that happening while there was so much bad happening in the world at the same time. It was
Yeah, that's the biggest thing that I keep emphasizing as well, is that even though it might seem like the job market is not looking as bright as it was, everything that went on last year, as a freelancer, as a remote worker, you can choose the services you provide, which means you can provide in-demand services. She's providing copywriting. She's providing eBooks to people who literally need this content. And she just said that the last year has been the best year of her freelancing career. So there's no excuse. You need to try freelancing if you don't know what direction to go in, because this is proof that it can really change your life even during these times. So it's really awesome to see more light being shed on just this way of working. I really think this is the future, and that more people are going to continue adopting this way of working. More businesses are getting comfortable hiring freelancers. It helps everyone cut costs down. And yeah, it's just awesome right here. Also selling courses. Yep. Wow.
I said to her, hey, I have $350K chilling in my bank account. Do you want me to get this house and you can pay me?
Hey, I have $350K just chilling in my bank account. Do you want me to buy you this house, Mom? That must be nice. Wow. That's inspirational for me right there. Just here you go. Here's a house.
Back when you sell the Albany house. And she said, yeah, sure. So we kind of just, made a collective decision. I don't know, my family, we're old school. I guess we share our resources and everything. For this house, my mom put down the $20,000 down payment, and then I paid the rest, which was $287,000, and we transferred the money out of my bank account to the seller. And in full, paid in cash, paid off. So I was never really scared, but it was definitely very new for me the last 2 months to live with having 20 to 30K in my bank account instead of 300K. That's gonna make me sound full of myself, but I just become very used to having a lot of money in my bank account because I had been saving it. This first property I want to buy in Southwest Florida, it's cheap because it's only a 1-2 bedroom, tiny little thing. So I'm actually thinking of buying 2 of them right off the bat. One of them I would immediately start to rent out on Airbnb, and then the other one I would use for myself / a filming studio, because right now I don't have one and I definitely want one set up, so I'm more inclined to do YouTube content and everything I keep putting off.
Yeah,
but until
that's
I buy
big.
that second one, I will.
That's big. That is something that even I want to do, is really just get my own room that I can put a studio in, because then you're more inclined to film. It's just easier. You can walk in the room, all your cameras, your lights are set up, as opposed to having to set it up in your office. So that's really the next step. And that's what I see a lot of people do, freelancers, consultants, anyone who eventually wants to build their personal brand and start to really produce content, whether it's courses, YouTube videos like this for people, just free value. Get a studio, create a separate space, because you need space in order to actually do things and to be motivated. So that's great that, she's looking towards the future. She already wants to keep growing. She did spend a lot on that house, so now she's probably even more motivated to really go earn that back. So yeah, everything is really, there's nothing really to critique here. It's really just reacting to it and seeing that Other people are having a lot of success with freelancing as well, even on Fiverr, Upwork, all these different platforms.
I will, yeah, live in the first one. I want to eventually quit Fiverr just because I'm, again, like that classic entrepreneurial type where I get bored. And I would love to transition more into a full-time educator with everything that I've learned and kind of phase away from actually writing the blogs and move more into a role where I'm helping people write blogs. I think 22-year-old me, working a job I hated in New York City, making $36,000 per year, I could not in my wildest dreams have imagined that this would be me at 28. Not for a second did I ever think this would be where I am. I did not dream that big. Women get treated much differently than men if they're posting about the money they earn. On TikTok, if I post a video showing my receipts, as Gen Z says, the comments are flooded with men saying, no, you don't, you know, calling me mean terms, sexual terms, or saying, oh, she made it on OnlyFans. I definitely noticed a huge pushback being a woman, and I've had all sorts of people write to me and say it's very unbecoming as a woman that you post that money, you know, you should.
I mean, to be honest, you're posting that on TikTok. That is a much, much, much younger generation. I mean, I'm not saying not to do that. I'm just saying I wouldn't take their opinions as anything to listen to. I mean, they're just saying that because maybe they're not really living up to their full potential. So it sounds like she might really, you know, just be thinking a little bit too much about what people think. But I do agree with her that, you know, women should also be more open, more transparent with what they earn. And obviously she's providing proof of it. So you got to be careful with the social media because everything else is really good. I also liked how she said she wants to build an online course, start to create content, help educate people. That's like the natural progression people go down. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you're earning so much money from the work you're providing that you want to go up the next level. You want to maybe outsource that work or do less of that and really transition into more of an education role. So she's definitely, you know, headed in the right direction. I mean, I don't know if she really should just quit Fiverr. She said she just wants to quit it because she's bored of it, but I would really never just cut off a flow of income. So I would keep that one going, maybe scale it down a little bit, maybe even increase that ebook price to $2,000 and maybe your leads would go down, but then also your workload would go down, but your income could still stay the same. You never really know exactly how that's going to work out. But overall, it sounds like she's still planning ahead, which is great.
Your mouth shut about it. So it's definitely hard being a woman doing this, but I think it's also forced me to develop thicker skin. Hey guys, I'm gonna give you my top 5 time management tips that help me churn out a ton of work every day. Got a lot of love too, and I discovered that there's so many people out there that do want to freelance, they don't hate me for it, and they want to learn from me and they want to learn what I know. Being transparent with what I am earning has earned these people's trust and show them it is possible. A girl from a farm in upstate New York did it, I can do it too.
Wow, so that was great. That was a great episode. I'm gonna give that a like, do everything I can to help. So that was another Paul Reacts. If you guys like this kind of reaction video where we look at what kind of success other freelancers are having, look at their specific situation, how much they're making, all of that, please leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. I'll make more of these videos. Please subscribe as well if you want to see more content on freelancing. And until the next one, I look forward to your success.